So then, welcome to the finale of the Season 11 Group A Tours from the Nordschleife combined. There's a bit of a wiggle there for Omega as he comes onto the old-fashioned circuit, getting the back end to move quite a lot. So obviously this is the finale. The championship has been decided, and this man on your screens is the Season 11 champion in the Group A Tours. He is plenty far ahead and off of second place, which is Scooby, to be caught over Flugplatz, gets air over Flugplatz. Down towards the long left-hander. So the standings coming into this final race are as follows. Obviously Omega has the most points so far with 191, with Scooby G on 156. Jack Team 53 Synopsis can, if he has a good race compared to Scooby, possibly get up into that position. He's on 138. Ginge is on 132 in fourth. Lee W is 5th with 118. Shockshaft is in 6th with 117. Edu is in 7th with 113. Fraser is 8th with 109. Royston is 9th with 80. Slidergas has 77 in 10th place. Whitford Zero is on 68. Tim is on 41. Billa is on 33, Cam123 Days is on 32, Deleuze has 24 points, Suzuki RMZ is here in 16th on 18 points, Caesar at 32 has 13, the Holland GWBL is on 8, Ben Sully is on 8, and BWD 66 rounds out the top 20 with 6 points. So, see, half an hour qualifying as it takes stupidly long to get around this circuit. And Omega getting out of the throttle. Obviously everyone on their out laps currently. There's Fraser. There's Whitford Zero. Scooby G. Now he's driven this car most this season, but that might not translate into a good result. Saw that last time they used the Sierras. He keeps going through. Now a few stats whilst we wait for people to get on to a few lap times. Last year, the pole position time for... Am I remember this right? Yep. The pole position time was set by Jack Team 53 Synopsis last season. He done a 9 minute and 6.922. That will be probably the target for most people. So that'll be the target. In the race, they went even faster with a 9:04.748, and Jack, really good times there. Other sort of stats-wise, obviously Omega winning. He has actually taken quite a few wins, actually, Omega. He's 1, 2, 3, 4. He's taken 4 wins so far. In the Group A Championship history, Jack has the most victories with 20. Ginge has 14. Scooby with 11. Omega is up to 6 wins at the moment. It's a bit of a snide there from Edu. So get the map up so we can see where we are, as this is the Carousel. Very famous corner. Mid's finest Lee, who's not racing this season, is on 5 wins. Has that someone gone round? I don't know who that is. Could be the Les. Yes, it was the Les. Round. Obviously, this track notorious for spins and bumps. Cam103 Diz has 4 wins to his name. Edu has 4. Fraser, who's in tonight, has 3 wins in this series. Whitford also has a win. History-wise, fastest laps, Jack has the most for 17, Ginge on 9. Edu has 8 fastest laps to his name, so he's no slouch in the race. Fraser has 7 to his name, Omega only 5. Scooby has 4. Yeah, that's really best bit about that. Manufacturer wins, interestingly, this Ford has the most wins of the Group A history, but then they did do a good series worth of it. The Nissans only have 4, but they've only just come in on the Project Cars 2 game. The Audi is not far behind the Mercedes, so that's interesting. Most podiums, Scooby G has the most podiums at 28. Jack has 25. Ginge has 20, so you can see a bit of a pattern here. Omega has 15 on them. Who is that? That is Whitford. So definitely, I mean, Lee W has had 3 podiums, and this Fraser 4. You can definitely tell is a quite a compact grid here. As Whitford comes to start his first flying lap. He's come down towards the Yokohama S. Bit sideways. Let's go on board with him for this, because it's one hell of a ride to go on board. Bit of wheel spin coming out of the Yokohama S, obviously quite natural in this thing. Then you come down to this left-hander. Bit cautious on the brakes going in. So he wants to get a banker in as he comes into the forward curve. Out of the forward curve he goes, and all the way down to the Dunlop Care. Long hairpin right. It's gone a bit wide, the back end's tried to step. And he's lit it up on the way out. That's not going to be quick as he comes up to the Schumacher S. And Schumacher is a bit wobbly, but he's got through nice and cleanly. Come up to this 90 left. And down to the Warsteiner curve. Through the Warsteiner he goes. Down all the way now to the chicane. Obviously this one a slightly less abrupt one. Carry a little bit more pace through that one than the other one. Then take the 90 left here. It's quite a long one actually. As someone joins in the session. And they hit the brakes for the first turn on the Nordschleife. This is where it gets scary. You flick it right, and then on the way down to Hatson back. Lovely through there, and it goes up, flicks left again into a 90 right. Then flick right, 60 left. So it's 9 right, 9 left complex. Up to Hokkaiken. It flicks left and down the straight up towards Fluplatz. Using all the revs and more. Up over Fluplatz, should get air. Does get air. I would say probably not on the power early enough there from Whitford. He'll lost a bit of time as he comes down the Cottonbourne. Down Cottonborn he comes, up over the crest into this fast left-hander. I think Whitford just getting a bit of a banker in and wants to get a decent lap as he comes into Arenberg. Down this fast section, there's Fuscherolner. I will apologise if you are German out there and watching, I can't really speak it. And it comes up then up to Arden or Forst. It's flick left. 90 right, that nips up a bit into Arden or Forst become this long left-hander. Tightens right up into a 90 degrees and a long 90 right. Then he's on his way down to Metzgertsfeld. He hits the brakes into Metzgertsfeld. Lovely stuff, and it just goes into a tighter left-hander here. And then down towards Callan-Hard. Out of there, and flicks left. Flicks left, flick right, not quite the line I'd have thought from there. Goes through the right-hander. Lines the throttle back on. Hits the brakes for the right into double 9 left, which is Versiphon. Out down the 9 right. All the way down towards Exmule. Exmel. He goes through that quite happily. Up towards Exmel we come. Through the right hander and down the straight. Come down here, flick left. Then the long right hander at Bergvork. The long left hander we come. This is absolutely flat. This is one of the fastest parts of the circuit. Absolutely flat as we come through Kesselchen. And it's all flat. Flat left. Oh, he's lifted through there. He's not quite got the line. Flat right. This should all be flat now, all the way down. So you hit the left-hander, still flat, flat left. Then you want to hit the brakes, get the car turned in, get the power straight back on as early as possible. And it's always flat, flat left, flat right over the crest. Little left just to make the front end turn in. Then hit the brakes on the curb for the hairpin right here. Up towards the carousel. Get it in the banking. Then start to accelerate now. Then it's a flat right. Up here be a flat left. Just lifts off a bit, doesn't trust it. Up to here, just dab of the brakes, turn it in, get on the power, and then power through the right-hander. The 9 right here at Hot Act. And then down is already another fast section. Flick it right, flick it left. Then flick it right, up towards Vipperman. Into Vipperman they come. There's up. There's a long left-hander which goes down into Brunchen. And Brunchen it goes down towards another 90 right, which is quite a long one. Up towards towards Ice Curve. And then you got a flat right. Back end trying to step there for Whitford. Goes flat left, flat right. Oh, he's lifted through there, not quite got the right line again. Oh, there's a bit of air through there as he comes through Flansgarten. Flick it left over the crest. Flick it right. Then it's left and right again. Then it's left. You come over as a flat right and it tightens. He hits the brakes more. He's going through this 9 left and up towards the Klein's carousel. It's effectively a mini carousel here. Doesn't bother with the banking. Just goes around the outside of it. To come now down to Galgenkopf. It's a really long right-hander. Gradually opens up onto the back straight at Dossinger Hall. Down the back straight we come then. What sort of speed does he reach? To 150. Hits the 160 mark. It's the 165, not quite, 164 still. There's 165. Come down to Tiergarten. 166 as we start to go down the hill now. We should pick up a bit more speed. 167, 168. He lifts through the first part, which most people would probably take flat, but doesn't want to muck this lap up. He goes left. Down towards the start-finish line. That's a lap of the Nordschleife combined. He sets a 9:12.1. About 6 seconds off of last season's pole lap. There's Tim, he has finally joined. There is Scooby G. Let's try and go to the front. Fraser sees it. Who is at the front of this? Is it Jack? It is. There's Jack TM53 Synopsis. The man with the current pole record. Flick left, flick right. Slows it down for the right-hander here. That is Fraser behind him. So here comes Jack. What does he do? He sets a 9:12.6, so a banker lap for him. Fraser doesn't have a time, so maybe he made a mistake somewhere and it penalised him with his lap. That looks like Scooby just had a bit of a moment. You watch Edu now. He is absolutely flying into the final set of corners here on the Nordschleife. He is flying into the wall. That is how quick he's going. I think that's Shock Shaft with a 9:26.6. Here comes Edu up towards the line. Goes across the line with a 9:25.9. Sees it with a 9:42.2. So he's having big issues on that first lap. Tim in the pits. Scooby really ragging that Sierra Cozzy. Slider Gas puts in a 9:42.5 to lie in 6th place now. Watch Ginge now. Through the final set of corners. Hits the power onto the onto the Nürburgring we come. Comes across the line. He sets a 9:28.9. So Omega hasn't set a time, so is he having a deduction, and that's going to be big slide into turn 1. It's Fraser about to go onto the main circuit of the Nordschleife. Scooby G coming down to the final set of corners for his first flying lap. Really pushing it through there. So he's only going to get one more lap of this. What time does he set for his banker? The answer is he doesn't. He doesn't set a time, so he's had his time taken away. There's Edu about to come on to the Nordschleife. There's Whitford, no longer the leader of the pack. There's Fraser. Jumping over Fluplax. There's Deleuze, so that must make Jack now the new leader on the circuit for qualifying. Currently lying in 2nd place. A good 6 seconds off of his pole position time from season 10. We come up towards the hairpin right. So the main culprits here right now, obviously Tim not qualifying, Omega not qualifying anymore, so maybe his time was invalidated after that use of the track limit. So that's the championship leader will be starting from exactly dead last in this race. Watch Royston now onto the Nordschleife. Bit of understeer there from the Cozzy. Here's the Les and the Zippernol Ford Sierra Cosworth. Whitford has finished his qualifying then with a 9:12.122, definitely a beatable time. As you continue to watch the Les in that Zippernol car. He lets the blue machine of, I think that's shock shaft, or slider gas even. No, that was Caesar 82 then, who ended up in the wall. And that was slider gas behind him. Almost spinning. As they come through, they're near the middle of the lap-ish at this point. Oh, and that is Caesar around again, and very good stuff to make sure the car didn't roll back enough. Do like the sound of these Sierra Cosworth. Caesar really struggling at the moment. To find some sort of grip here. And into the wall again for Caesar. He really is not liking it out there at all. And Caesar again losing it. Fair play, he keeps going, doesn't he? It's a really valiant display here from Caesar 82. Doesn't give up easily, I can tell you that much. Continue to watch Caesar. Let's have a look at someone else. Scooby G, the man in second place in the championship. Can no longer win the championship, so we want to make sure he keeps that second place. He's currently got the third fastest time with a 9:14.5. So good start really for him right now. His main rivalry is Jack Team 53 Synopsis, who's under 20 points behind him. But right now, Whitford, unless Jack can put in a blast of time for his second attempt, Whitford could get pole. So Edu using a bit of grass, number 40 machine. So he's really trying to push that car to its limit on this lap. See how much time he can improve by. He's 13.8 off the pace after lap 1. Now the biggest thing here with Nordschleife isn't actually how fast you are. It's whether you can keep the car on the road or not. There is your current pole sitter. There's Jack, he's about to come onto the back straight. I reckon he could get one more lap if he wants it. But I don't think the tyres will be good enough because there is tyre wear on for the night. See that 160 miles an hour in that shed. It's up to 165. Over the hill. How fast is he down to go into this final set of corners? Oh, a bit of confidence lifting through the first part. Just about gets it slowed down. Doesn't scare the apex whatsoever. Full throttle onto the Nürburgring. What time can he set? Cross the line. A 9:11.2, nowhere near his pole position record time from season 10, but it puts himself in provisional pole. I think that was Fraser moving himself up into third with a 9:13.7. Next man to cross the line will be Edu. Again, lifting off the throttle as he comes up through. Trying to balance. Oh, and he's lost it into the tyre wall. That is game over. He's got to be careful with people coming up behind him. He goes to cross the line. He could get another lap again, but the tyres will probably be shattered. No, it looks like Jack's going for another one. Obviously not an improvement there. Shaft is in. Sees it. Here comes Slider Gas. So I think that's the Les has come through with a 9:29.4. Slider Gas will be the next man through. Can he improve on his 9:42.5? Qualifying's over, so this is it. He does improve to a 9:34.3, so a fantastic effort, pulling 8 seconds off of his time. Caesar looks to be the next man who will be coming through the line. Hopefully he'll want to beat that 9:42, but he's had a lot of spins and a lot of crashes on this lap. Comes over towards the line we come. Doesn't improve. Another man out there. Scooby comes across the line, sets a 9:30. Doesn't improve on his 9:13.7. Who is still out there? Not Edu there. There's the Les. Who is it that's missing? It's Royston. I shall have a look at the comment in a minute. Royston goes quite wide through the final couple of corners. In qualifying, what time can he set? He doesn't set a time. Time must have been invalidated for him. So there's only a few people left on track. This man being one of them. Scooby did set a good time, a 9:06.4 from the man in second in the championship. That didn't pop up until after he crossed the line by a few seconds. So a brilliant time from him. He is my pick of the day really for this because he's had so much time in that car. Jack keeps going through. There's Royston still out there, but he's not really moving. If you watch Jack TM53 synopsis. I'll quickly have a look at that comment. Gary actually a bit bored in the pit lane with a long lap. It's a massive lap of 9 minutes in it. This race is going to be about 50 minutes long as well. It's a 5-lap race, so a bit of an endurance for the competitors tonight. Jack really pushing the car, trying to get something out of it. And still got another 8 minutes left to complete this lap. We continue to watch Jack TM53 synopsis on his final qualifying lap. The only other man on circuit is the Les. Oh, and a bit of a wiggle through there. Won't like that. You head down then. Nearing the middle of the circuit. Back with Jack. You just go on to one of the faster parts of the circuit. You flick left, flick right. The best way to get sense of speed is on the bumper cam. Get that. The way, the pace they carry through this circuit is immense. As we head up towards the carousel, buzzing the limiter in second. Royston has disconnected, so that's the night over for him. Remember, the big story here tonight so far is Omega not setting a time. You're on board, Jack Synopsis in the cockpit now. Very dangerous game to be using those curbs. It's very easy to spin the car on them, especially around here with the angle they're on. Go on board with the Les for a bit as he comes up towards the same section of the carousel. No, he's not quite got it tucked in well enough there. Car's bogged down in third. So here comes the Les then, up through the upward part we go over the crest, now down the hill we come. Swap out to Jack, who's coming towards the end of the lap. But I think that'll be for everyone's benefit. They've had to stay in the garages for that a little bit longer whilst Jack and the Les complete a third flying lap. Jack really, really doesn't want to give up on that pole. Now, I'm wondering. I wonder. Yes, that is a pole position record from Scooby. I thought it might have been. He's done the record by about half a second. Obviously the pole Last season's pole from Jack was a 906.922. He's at a 906.450. So a pole record then for the man in second in the championship as Jack comes down. Oh, I really want to get a bumper shot through here. The pace they carry through that first flick right left. Go through the next right, the next left. Royston's rejoined. Whether he's got in the session or not is a different matter. Up over the bump. And Jack's, that's a 908.4. He can't get anywhere near Scooby's time there. We now watch the Les through Klein Carousel. So Scooby currently with pole position records. He's looking good. That's an interesting sign to be in my way. Lifts off as he comes down the back straight then for the final time for the Les. Absolutely flat chat in that Sierra Cosworth down that back straight. Doesn't have to make up a lot of time to beat Ginge here in the other Zip and Old car. All the way down. Into the right-hander, into the final corner then for the Les in this qualifying session. It's been a long qualifying session, but probably well worth it. What does the Les manage to do? He goes with a 922.9 up into 5th place. It's a fantastic lap time from him. So good stuff from the boys here at NXTGEN, but Scooby G with 906.4, quicker than last season by almost half a second. That's a great lap time. He'll have to be happy with that. And we now wait for the clock to tick down, because I think Royston disconnected on the main straight. So 40 seconds left before we exit qualifying and go into the race. So I'd estimate to be around 50 minutes long with the 5 laps. We did start about 10 minutes late. So the qualifying session over, and now confirmed that Scooby will take a point for pole position. So Scooby takes pole from Jack TM53 Synopsis. Redford Zero has a good qualifying session in 3rd. Fraser is 4th. The Les is 5th. Edu is 6th. Shock Shaft is 7th. Ginge is 8th. Slidergas 28 is 9th. Caesar 82 is in 10th. Tim will start 11th and Omega 12th, with both of them not completing a lap. Bit of work then for the newly crowned champion to do. This is not an easy circuit to overtake, and even harder to miss any accidents that occur in front of you, especially once you hit the Nordschleife. That's a very tightly packed grid. Stay sync, and we're about to go green. And we are now racing here at the Nordschleife combined, and that really tightly packed grid has not worked out for Whitford at all. As they all come down towards the Yokohama S for the first time, Tim, oh, that's a big crash in the background. That is Omega going round. Sorry, there's Fraser going round with Omega stopping behind him. As Jack goes through the Yokohama S first. Oh, bit of collision with Scooby-Doo's trying to go down the inside. Scooby's slow off the corner. That's going to give Whitford a chance as they come down towards the forward curve for the first time of 5. So here the rakes into the left-hander. Scooby's got the corner. Brilliant stuff there from the man in second place in the championship. Whitford there, going back up into third after a poor start. Edu is there. So they head into the hairpin right for the first time of 5. The Les has gone down into 6th because Ginger's up into 5th. A great start from him. Caesar is 7th with Slider Gas in 8th. There's Shock Shaft in 9th. Tim has avoided the collisions and is currently in 10th. There's Fraser in 11th after having a massive spin. And there's Omega, who is nowhere at the moment. Head back up to the front of the pack, and now is Jack still leading from Scooby from Whitford from Edu. As they head towards the chicane for the first time. There's a lot of first times on this lap. Oh, and that's someone in the background. I think that might have been Edu. Yes, I think Edu got tapped round after the chicane. So he makes his way back onto the circuit. Yes, definitely contact with Whitford because he waits up for him. Good sportsmanship from him. Whitford's now down to 9th. Edu straight back up into 6th. And behind that you've got Omega. And you got Tim battling with the current champion now of season 11. And Whitford's gone around the outside of Omega. That's a fantastic move. There's Tim in the golden coloured Ford Sierra Cozzy. Bit of a corner cut there, and that's sent him wide onto the grass. He's got away with it though. The number 52 machine. And now he's off wide into the grass on the other corner. Oh, and that's almost wiping out Whitford there. As he gets overtaken, I think that's Ginge. Ginger's had an issue as well. Slider Gas gets past him. Over Fluplats, the Flying Sierras. They look like Slider Gas was having a moment. He was having a moment, and Tim's going to get a run on him. On the grass, he completes the move. Pedal to the metal from Tim. Fantastic move. The top two, though, getting away now. 5 seconds the gap between second and third, but these two only 0.3 separate them. You've got to go careful up into here. The car will lift up. Let's go into the right-hander. Comes Scooby G right on the tail of Jack. Get the map up so you guys know exactly where they are on the circuit. Yeah, Royston couldn't join back in, which is a shame. Scooby G, that's losing the rear end, I think, most definitely. And also losing a bit of time. We have our first retirement, I think. Is that Fraser, maybe? Yes, I believe it is. Fraser has retired from the session. Seen things not going his way since the start of the race. Whitford has Omega not far behind him. Only 3 seconds behind that is Edu. And we know how quick Edu is at the moment. Big slide. Well held from the Spaniard. And now Scooby having a look at the inside of Jack as he comes through the flick right into the double tight 90 left. Up the hill they come. Scooby still looking, but Jack placing his car perfectly. Up the hill they come. Over the crest. Into the flick right-hander. Goes really, really long. These two really having a battle for it. Both of them want this final win. Jack just a bit of a better line through that left-hander. I mean, he keep it absolutely pinned. So on board with Scooby at the moment. It's a very fast part of the circuit. So hit the brakes. Down towards the complexer corners that will lead to the carousel. Up to the carousel then for the first time. Oh, and that's a bit of a mistake there from Jack. A little bit wide coming out of the carousel. That's given a bit of blood to Scooby to really have a look now. You'll really want that position now. And there's Whitford past Shockshaft now for fourth place as we keep an eye on this battle for first, because this is a raging one. Scooby looking absolutely everywhere. Remember, very hard to overtake until you hit the GP circuit at the Nürburgring. Oh, and a bit of a mishap again from Jack. Was the back end just a bit tail happy. It's constantly allowing Scooby the hope and opportunities here. Jack just squaring the corner up a bit more. Again, the back end looking very tail happy go over the crest there. Wonder if Scooby's gone for a more stable setup. Tim's been passed by Slider Gas. Oh, and that's Slider Gas off in the wall. And here comes Tim to take advantage maybe. Oh, and a big, even bigger spin for Slider Gas. Now that he sees it to pick up the spoils of that one. Back up at the front though. Coming up near the Klein Carousel. As we're about to come onto the back straight for the first time of 5. These two now getting away quite comfortably now with a 13-second gap between them and third place Whitford, who's passed the Les. Down the back straight for the first time. How much slipstream can Scooby get? Go absolutely flying down. Scooby now within 3/10 of the come up towards the final collection of corners. Different lines going through the first part. Definitely not, well, definitely different lines as that's Jack almost off into the wall. And Scooby takes full advantage of that round the outside. A celebratory flash of the lights. So Scooby takes over the lead on lap number 1. Can he hold it there? He's been quick in qualifying. They were saying before the race, in practice, he was around the 9:13s, saying there was a lot more time to be had. And boy was he right, there was about, I don't know, 7 seconds worth of time to be had. So I have to keep an eye on that gap. And there's Omega with the Les in front of him now. And there's Shockshaft, there's Edu. In 7th, Ginge is in 8th. There's Tim in 9th. He'll be quite happy so far with this result. He's kept it fairly clean. in the number 52 Golden Machine. Comes over to complete his first lap of the night in this race. There goes Caesar in 10th. Slider gas. Oh, that's a very, oh my word, that is an incredible off. Oh, that's a heavy crunch into the barriers, that is. See the car lift off the ground then in the grass, that was crazy. If Slider gas, if you're watching or listening to the stream, man, you need to go back and watch that after this race. That was a belting crash. He's not having a good time of it, is he, Slider gas, today? Back up to the front, and Scooby controlling the race now at about 7/10 the gap as they hit the Nordschleife. There's Omega now in front of the Les. Omega's starting to pull away now from the Les. Edu has Shock Shaft now behind him, so he's got up into 6th for the Spaniard. He runs a bit wide through there, but he'll get away with it. And Tim has now been overtaken by Caesar. I think he's had a spin. Yes, he has. Looks like he's lost it coming out the fast right on the back straight of the Nürburgring. Very tentative through the chicane there. As he goes on to the Nordschleife for his second loop. On this 15.7 mile circuit, Scooby's lead now over a second. So Whitford, Omega hasn't really dropped the Les. Only 0.6 in it. As they come up through. Omega with the Les right behind him now. I have to think the Les will be wanting to make a move soon on the current champion. Make a bit of a statement. So what, you're the newly crowned champion, I'm going to try and have you. So we've got a good little battle shaping up here for 4th place. Oh, that's a bit wide from Omega, well held. But he's gone wide into the barrier, and that's the opening the Les needs. The Les takes 4th with both hands now. So the current champion having a bit of an issue there. Oh, and that's the Les instead repays the favour. If these two aren't careful, Edu will come up behind. There he is in the background, is Edu. So an unusual mistake from... Oh, and another mistake from Omega. Oh, and he's still trying to save it. Oh, he's finally lost it into the barrier. A big hit and a big spin. And he spun it, trying to get going again in absolute frustration. Shock Shaft now gets passed into 6th. This is very uncharacteristic like of the champion here. Two mistakes on this lap. he looks very tentative going up through there then. There's the Les, he's got Edu right behind him now. Edu will be looking to get back his 4th place. As they head into there. Not happy right, Edu right at the chuff now of the Les as they come up towards the carousel. Is Edu brave enough to try it? No, he's not. Well, he is actually. He's going to try and get around the outside, which is that'd have been a hell of a move if Edu could have made that stick. Up the hill they come. Still climbing up. Edu still right behind the Les. Oh, and that is the Les. Gone again. Into the barrier. And a spin around. That allows Shock Shaft now past. Shock Shaft into the top 5. Not the place you want to be that for the Les. There's Omega up into 6th now. So the Les drops from 4th to 7th. In the flick of a switch, really. And Scooby now pulling away quite happily here. He's 3 seconds up on Jack. To be honest, not a bad effort. Over 15 and a bit miles to only be separated by 3 and a bit seconds. What a useless camera angle that is. And Scooby then comes onto the back straight for the 2nd time of 5. About another half hour of racing then. There's Whitford, there's Edu who's going slowly, he's had a bit of an issue. He spun it I think somewhere. No, that is an issue for Edu. What is going on? Oh, he kind of forced the Les out wide there a bit. That's weird for Edu. Maybe a track limit penalty as he now goes wide. Can't see the rest of it though. So Edu now down to 6th. And there's NGR Tim is now dropped to the back. As in the golden car. Unfortunately he was running well early in the part of the race. As he adds a bit more golden paint to that barrier. Still 11 cars in it. Here's Jack in 2nd place quite comfortably right now. He's got a 13-second gap over Whitford. But he is now 4 seconds down on Scooby as he comes to the bottom end of the circuit. There's Shock Shaft, there's WRT now past the Les. There's Omega coming down to turn 1, but Shock Shaft has Edu. Behind him has Edu, by the side of him has Edu in front of him through the Yokohama S. That is very slow from Shock Shaft into there. And now the Les smells a bit of blood and he takes it. Slider Gas has now left the session, whereas we're now down to 10 men. So, at the very least, Tim's going to get a top 10 finish. And Omega's round. Omega is round at the forward curve. Puts WT, puts Edu up now into 4th. with the Les in 5th. Shockshaft up to 6th, and now Omega, the current champion, crowned this season, down into 7th. So come through the Schumacher S for the 3rd time of 5. These boys nearly a minute down now on the leader. And Edu getting overtaken by the Les around the outside of the right-hander onto what we class as the back straight for the Nürburgring circuit. So a great move from the Les to move up into 4th, and Edu runs well onto the grass. Keeps the pace though, hasn't quite got the inside for the chicane. No, he does have the inside for the chicane as the Les goes for a rallycross experience. And there goes Omega now up the inside after he overtook Shockshaft. So this is really the battle to be in, as that's Edu very sideways. And now that's, oh my word, that's Omega having a big accident now. Trying to go around the outside of Edu is not quite worked. He's clipped the grass, and now that is Ginge coming up to the back of this pack. So if Omega can get going quickly again, he might be able to catch back up and make this 5-car battle, but now the Les has had an instant going wide onto the grass. That's given Edu a bit of room until Edu clips the curb in the back end, tries to step. And here comes the Les now, back at Edu. Followed by Shockshaft with Ginge right behind him. Up over Fluplats they come. Shockshaft with a lot of pressure from Ginge behind. Will Ginge look to make a move down this fast part of the circuit? Up over the crest, a little bit of air. We're down to 9. We're down to 9. Who's gone? The champion is not scoring points in this race. The champion has called it a day. On lap number 3, here at the Nordschleife combined, we're down to 9 men. Hit the brakes, up over the crest. Oh, and very lucky from Shockshaft not to clip the grass on the outside there. Edu with the Les right on his tail now. 3/10 the gap. Ginge has overtaken Shockshaft. So there's a good stuff from Ginge there. I think Shockshaft not very happy with the tail end of the car. He's looking very timid through the exit of corners. And the Les has now overtaken Edu for 4th. As we continue this battle through the Nordschleife. Edu right on the tail, and Shockshaft has got back past Ginge. Don't really know which battle to look at next. These guys are practically bump drafting each other as they go through. This is a very fast part of the circuit. This is ballsy stuff as Edu runs wide onto the grass, luckily in a straight line. Here the brakes through the left-hander. A bit wide from the Les. Ginger's now got back past Shockshaft, but is now instantly given it back by doing that. Oh, and he's into the other side of the barrier as well for Ginge. Finally gets the car settled and going again. She's lost a couple of seconds though. Round the outside of the carousel. Into the wall for Edu. Has he managed to make that stick? Yes, he has. That's a brilliant move from the Spaniard. He decided he was going to lunge it round the outside of the carousel. The Les just popped out of the groove. Accidentally put him in the wall, but Edu stuck with it. And that is a fantastic bit of driving from Edu to reclaim his 4th place. Both of them almost struggling to keep the back end in check. There's Ginge, he's now 3 seconds behind Shockshaft. These boys are watching now a minute behind the leaders. And that's Edu. Edu in the wall for what is probably about the 5th time in this race I've seen. So he now loses 4th to the Les again. And he has a few seconds to make up. Whitford Zero minding his own business, currently in 30s, 40 seconds down on Scooby, and yeah, 37 on Jack. So just a quiet podium by the looks of it so from Whitford, as long as he can keep it nice and tidy and on the circuit. Scooby G though, the current leader, moves on to lap number 4. Jack is beginning to close that gap a little bit, at 9:08 there from Scooby. I think that was a 9:05 I just saw here. A 9:07.9, so yeah, a second taken out of Scooby from Jack. Yeah, the best lap is Scooby with a 9:05.449. Best ever is a 9:04.748 in the race by Jack. There's the Les, there's Edu. Shockshaft through the sign. And there comes Ginge as we all now spread out as we enter the final couple of laps. I'm going to get a drink. Though Edu looks like he doesn't want me to have a drink because I think the Les has had issues coming onto the back straight. Edu running wide, that's not where you want to be, son. Flipping heck, that was one hell of a line through there. And into the wall again. Oh, that's into the side of the Les, big time. That is very unfortunate for the Les, and Edu just trying to keep the car on, gets on the grass. And unfortunately, a car doesn't tend to stop well on grass, and this has brought Shockshaft into the picture right behind. Ginge has made a mistake somewhere. I think that was actually there in that section. Tim still going strong there in 9th. 3.5 minutes off the leader, but a 9th place finish will be quite good for him. He'll enjoy that, a top 10. Regardless of how he got there, Jack has lost a couple of seconds this lap. There's Whitford. Ginge is in the pit lane. Now I did wonder if someone was going to attempt this. Bolt on some fresh tyres. Let's get the invisible pitman. Out he goes on a fresh set of tyres, I'd assume. because tyre wear is on, so others may be struggling now for tyre wear. Or what's Ginge up to here? He's stopping the car. I don't really understand what Ginge is doing here. I am genuinely confused. Unless he's waiting for the leaders to come back around. I am, yeah, very confused on that one. Anyway, back into the racing. Fourth is the Les and third is Edu. Fifth is Edu. Edu now really having a look. Trying to gain his fourth place back after pretty much having a dirt showdown style takeout on the Les earlier on lap number 3. Up over the Flugplatz crest. And yes, that is Ginge exiting the race. He has retired from this race. So we're now down to 8th. Tim up to 8th as he begins his 4th lap. Almost 4 minutes down now. There's Jack. There is Scooby quite happily in the lead by 8 and a bit seconds. The Les still has Edu on his tail. So I'll leave a little bit of onboard footage, I think, with Edu. So enjoy this whilst I get a drink. So yeah, enjoy this as we hunt down the Les for 4th place. So, it doesn't spell with Edu, who did have a bit of an off there. So Shock Shaft is now up into P5 with Edu in P6. Here's a man we haven't seen too much of. It's CZ82, who's just been running around in penultimate place. He is a minute and 49 off the leaders, but quite obviously quite happy. And I think Scooby has made a mistake on this lap. He's lost almost 4 seconds to Jack TM53 Synopsis on this penultimate lap. Obviously, if you're customary to the Monday night tours, by now we would be on to the moderns. We're getting prepped for it, but we still have one more lap of this racing to go. You do now back past Shock Shaft for 5th place. He really pushing it through there. He wants to get back up towards the ledge for that 4th place. We come up to the Klein Carousel. That's wide into the gravel. That's not going to help his charge. Into the Klein Carousel he comes. He's got to make up 3 and a bit seconds on the ledge. Both Jack and Scooby having issues on that lap. A 9.17.9 for Scooby, a 9.18.8 for Jack, so really poor efforts there. Here comes the Les. There's Edu. And there's Shock Shaft. Up to the final couple of corners they come. And the Les start his final lap in 4th place here. $9:27.6 for the Les on that lap, with a 9:29.8, which puts him 3.5 behind the Les going on to the final lap of this race. In comparison, 1:23 looks a bit like this. Scooby's already on to the Nordschleife. Come through the start of the Nordschleife with Jack. So these two not getting much coverage, like they're not actually really racing as such, they're just driving around. The Lair's going to get sideways into the hairpin. Edu. The Shock Shaft has lost a bit of time. He's now 5 seconds down to Edu, so everyone really spread out now on this final lap. Not making my job any easier. Let's have a look at Tim. There he is, cruising around in 8th place. Be very happy with his current points haul as he slides his way over the crest and into the wall for the gold machine. Number 52. It's interesting. I think he is. I don't know if he is watching the stream or not, but if he is, remember on Friday when I was doing the Genetta Juniors for NXTGEN, Afcape was watching the stream and he said you have a hell of a lot more pressure when the commentator's watching. Tim runs a little bit wide through there. I think Edu's lost a bit more time. He's nearly 4. Oh, no, he hasn't. He's still about 3.5 actually for Edu. There's Edu really equal on times right now. As we keep going around this Nordschleife combined circuit. There's Tim again. A bit of TV coverage time, since there's not a lot happening right now. Oh, almost spins to the inside there with the camber. Has gone to the inside of that one and just about saved it. Good job, good sir. Can't see him now because of this stupid sign. As he can now put it flat out down this straight. Jack has had an accident somewhere. He's now 13 down on Scooby, losing 10 seconds. That'll be about right for a nose into the barrier and spin round. In the mill go Sierra Cosworth. Now the Les has lost a bit of time to Edu. The gap's now down to 1.2. So Edu now closing in on that 4th place again. It's been a good midfield battle. This has been all race long. A bit sideways through there for Edu, losing him a bit of time as he goes onto the grass. That's lost him a few tenths there. And see how much he's pushing it. The rear end always constantly stepping at the moment. Leave how close these boys get to the grass. It's literally disaster waiting for them on the green stuff. Oh, and Edu loses the back end, loses it on the grass, into the wall. I think it's fair to say, unless the Les makes a mistake, that is his challenge for 4th place, over and done with. The shock shaft now comes into the picture as Edu goes back into the wall. Over the grass again he goes. See how those rear tyres really heated up, you'd have to say. A minute and a half behind the leader, who is all the way down here. So you look on the map there, you can see just about to see the arrow on the edge of the map. There's Edu there. That's a minute and a half worth. Yes, I think Tim's doing the sensible thing here. And he's waiting for the rest of the pack to come around to lap him. We have a look at our current race leader. There's the Les. And that's Edu on the grass again. And now shock shaft into the top 5. It's not going well for the number 40 man. Really having issues on the grass. Oh, over the bumps on the curb there. As he enters the carousel for the final time. But Scooby G, we're going to watch him finish off the lap. He's already celebrating down the back straight in the number 36 machine. He's going to take 22 points away from this race. Out of Omega, it's a shame that the championship battle wasn't close enough to force the issue for Omega. But this has been a stunning drive from Scooby. He's led pretty much from start to finish. Let's get into the final couple of corners for the final time. And onto the main circuit we come. And it'll be the number 36 machine. Scooby wins here at Nordschleife combined in the finale of the Group A Tours, the final round for Season 11. Jack will come home a respectable second. Again, a good drive from him. Here comes Whitford. And there's NGR Tim. He's going to come home in 8th place, a lap down. He'll be happy with 8th place. Whitford 0. As he now comes down towards the final few corners for his final time. In the Eduardo Performance Car. And that's a brilliant podium for Whitford. Cracking effort from that man. He's kept it out of trouble, and that's all he had to do to claim 3rd place. The Les now currently still 4th. But behind them, this could turn into a real battle down that back straight. Less than a second separates them. Can he get a run? Get some slipstream? There's the Les. Edu now only half a second and closing. 4/10 and closing. Two and a half tenths. That's Edu coming up alongside now on Shockshaft on the final lap, coming up towards the final set of corners. On the grass goes Shockshaft. And it looks like without... Oh, and that's Edu. In the barrier, and oh my word, that's going to be a big collision for him. And that'll definitely be... There's the Les in 4th. Shockshaft will now finish in 5th. That's the second time that Edu's done that tonight. 5th place for Shockshaft, we'll be happy with that. It's cost Edu the chance at the top 5, but 6th place for Edu. Caesar 82 won't actually finish the race underneath the time limit, but he does come home in 7th place. So Scooby J takes the final win of Season 11 Group A Tours. Jack TM53 Synopsis takes 2nd with Whitford in 3rd. The Les is in 4th. Shockshaft is in 5th. Edu is in 6th. Caesar is 7th. Tim is in 8th. Ginge is 9th. Or retired in 9th, sorry. So Caesar 7th. Tim, the last of classified finishers, in 11th. Ginge retired on lap 3. Omega retired on lap number 2. And Fraser retired on lap nothing. Didn't complete a lap. So, a great season here for the Group A Tours, I think you'll agree. So if you do want to watch back the last half of the season, it's all in the playlist for the Group A Tours. But the last laugh goes to Scooby tonight. And we will hopefully catch you in Season 12 for the next series of the Group A Tours. In a few minutes, the Moderns will be coming up on my channel. So do stay tuned for that around Silverstone National. But from Nürburgring, Nordschleife combined, and the Group A Tours, thank you for watching this season. And we hope to see you all in Season 12.